All right, we are here. Only 9 in the lobby for the time being, which isn't. That's not too hot, I'll admit. But you know, what are you gonna do? I don't know why my computer is as slow as it is today, but something is not entirely rocking with us. My connection is like kind of super bad, and I don't really know why. That's according to what the PlayStation is telling me. Which is a little weird, I mean, I'll admit. My laptop is running super slow, which is just hot. Not even that I'm like streaming on my laptop, but I mean, you know, for the purpose of actually using it. Well, we got a couple minutes. I'm sorry, I need to turn off this lobby music, man. It's so bad. Voice chat suspended, that's fine. Music. Let's turn that off. Okay, fantastic. We are here. In Miami. We're not quite in just yet, but I mean, you know, for what it's worth. And again, for whatever reason, my computer is just struggling to exist at the moment. I can't even, like, hardly bring up the Google on the track map or anything. I don't know what's going on. Here we go, that's a little bit better. Or is it? I mean, not really. Still can't open things. Is iMovie really using all my storage at the moment? My processing? I don't like that at all. Yeah, let's force quit iMovie. Maybe that'll be helpful. This laptop, I tell you what, is actually kind of terrible. I don't know what the deal is, but for whatever reason, it's just so dog. Just making sure everything's still working. That's good. Oh, let's open this tab, actually. Guess I'll fuck around on my guitar for a minute. Really starting to rock the guitar playing, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not too good at it yet, but we're kind of messing with it. Are you telling me I seriously opened that page 3 different times? I only wanted it once. And I only wanted the track map either. I don't know why it's... Fuck, man. This guitar is so bad. It's just actually unusable. I can't lower the action anymore. Which is, like, really not fun, because I'm really trying, but... Fuck, man. Fucking thing sucks. Anyway. Okay, so we're here. We have 15 in the lobby. That's for this time being. Can we potentially get a track map? Yeah, there we go. Okay, here we are. That's all right. We're cooking the fire now. We're rocking. You know, I think sometimes it just takes a little doing. What's actually interesting is that the computer reopened the 2 tabs I didn't need to open anymore, which is just a little weird, but that's okay. I'm not asking for too much, am I? This is good. Let's get the standings tab, or if Discord on my laptop's not even running correctly. I really don't know what's going on. I just need to restart my system. I can't even open my battery tab without using significant energy. iMovie is not open anymore. That's really weird. Why is that using significant energy if it's not even open? It's like, what the hell? Well, which one shall I open first? Oh, strawberry lemonade or strawberry lemonade? Slim pickings in the communal box of Sun Cruiser downstairs, but we'll get this one open, good to go. Hang on, are you ready? Alright, you ready for this? Ooh. Oh yeah! That is freaking good. Man, I'm not gonna lie to you. Man, that is a phenomenal beverage, that. How's everybody doing tonight? Good old Wednesday evening here. Not much else going on. Had a baseball game earlier today. Our New Hampshire Fisher Cats taking on the Hartford Yard Goats. I was down in the first base dugout with the rest of the team, and boy, let me tell you, I sweat my ass off today. No shade in that first base dugout. As you know, baseball, usually the sun sets over the third base side, and the shade kind of protrudes from out that way. We did not have that luxury today. It was very warm. But that's what I love about New Hampshire. Realistically, is sometimes you get the hot days, right? You get the 90-degree days. You get the 80 in humidity. You get the 90 in humidity sometimes as well. But then you get it every once in a while. You get one like we had Monday, which was 70 degrees for just some reason. It wasn't even raining. It was just 70 degrees and windy. Like, it was sweatshirts in the middle of July. So sometimes you get one of those types of things, but so Miami tonight, who do we got? Rocket Man. Elton John is here and in the building, I suppose. I don't know if that's supposed to be pronounced Harv or Harvey. I think it might be. I don't know. I'm gonna say Harvey because that makes more sense. But if it is Harv, you could let me know after. That's perfectly fine. Curveball in the Ferrari. Merc in the Visa Cash App Racing Bull, powered by Red Bull, based out of Italy for some reason. Bald guy racing. See, that's what I'm going to be in a little while. I'm going to have to shave my head bald. I'm losing my hair so fast, it's not even funny. It's kind of in the cards, Everybody, including my grandfather and my uncle on my mother's side, both lost it in their 20s, and I'm 23. So, yeah, I'm living on borrowed time, but that's all right. Got Hemphead, Jabor. Oh, he's in the Red Bull. Would it be slightly overkill to pronounce that as every time I have to commentate him? I think that would be slightly. That would be too much of a task. Fragley in the Sauber, Cam Tizzle, Anyate, Reimer, Surzal, which I have not been told to pronounce differently. So, if I have that wrong, let me know. But until then, I'm saying it's Surzal. Unless it's not. King Pro Player, John the Prince, Johnny Damon, Oakland Athletics legend, Red Sox legend, New York Yankees player. Let's see, it is 10:05 here on the Eastern Seaboard, and we're not going yet. Just waiting for some additional. I don't actually know what we're waiting for. 16 are in the lobby. 17, I believe, are checked in for tonight. Charlie Gulf is going to join in during quali. He's got an update. And then Sepulveda is, I believe, our last person to join. Wherever he may roam in this one. see who we got. Piastri, John the Prince. Nobody repping the Aston Martins tonight. Only one McLaren. Said the thing updated. Why do we still have only 16 in? That's a phenomenal question. Rocketman is asking in the Discord if he wishes to ready up. That'd be a phenomenal answer. 5 minutes past the schedule already. That's okay, though. I'm not complaining. I got nothing to do tomorrow. That's okay. You know what? Today was a good day. Today we had baseball. And today's baseball broadcast happened at 12:05. Sometimes we get those Wednesday game at like 11:30 or 12:05. Sometimes we get a game like that, and I really like it because then you still got half a day left afterwards. You know, normally the games will start at 6:30 or, you know, on the Sundays will be like 1:30, but sometimes it'll be at like 6:30, and then you won't get home until like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. Not too long ago, we had an instance where we had a doubleheader game, and that really sucked. The first doubleheader didn't start until 8 o'clock. We didn't actually leave the ballpark until 11:45. And I didn't get home until 1. But I tell you what, I got paid to watch Rookie of the Year. Could you believe that? That's a damn good way to get paid, isn't it? Let me see one more time if I can nail this Johnny Cash riff before we get readied up. I doubt it, but we'll find out. As we have gotten the signal to ready up here. Not bad. This guitar is so terrible. I actually bought it for $100 off of Facebook Marketplace, and I've had a lot of fun with it, but it is freaking terrible. I went to Guitar Center the other day, and I saw this good acoustic for like $199, and I really wanted it. I played it so good. I loved it. Everybody have fun tonight. Okay, well, we'll officially start the broadcast now. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Miami International Autodrome here in, I would say, beautiful Miami, Florida. That's not always the case. Miami, Florida, for round number 3. For round number 3 of this CCRL Wednesday tier. And I have to get what appears to be Charlie Golf back in the session. Please excuse me once I'm able to get back in, as that's going to be the first thing that I have to do. Round number 3 of the season. Had a good couple of first rounds. I don't believe I was around for round number 1 in Bahrain. Suzuka last time out was definitely a fun one. And we are ready for more of the same tonight. This Miami International Autodrome, I feel like sometimes is slightly, I don't want to say disrespected, because it is terrible. But what I will say is this, and I find this similar to, there's a couple of tracks where I really find this to be true, is we have a track that does not perform very well at all in real life, but then a track that will perform excellently in the video game world, and I think that's exactly what we have with this one. Is we have a track that is really not good, has never produced a good race in real life F1, but every time we visit this track, in the online sense, I have yet to find a complaint. I don't know if anybody else feels that way. Let me know if I'm wrong. But yeah, that's just not something that's I kind of get the feeling with. Every time we visit here, we get some good racing. We get some pretty good fun anyway. Potentially some rain. Always possible for rain in Miami, Florida, given how humid and muggy it is. Let me tell you, it's just not a good place to be. In general. Florida in general, for that matter. There's nothing really wrong with the state of Florida except for how hot it is. I mean, your goal is to avoid the outside sun. You know what I mean? You are moving from air conditioning to air conditioning, and that's pretty much any time of the year. I remember going down to Disney World in 2016 and having it be 95 degrees and humid on Christmas. So, I mean, it is one of those things. But here we are then. Denata Charlie Golf. What the calendar looks like is this. We are in Miami tonight. Next time out will be in Saudi Arabia at the Jeddah Corniche Circuit, which that's always a fun one. August 6th in Spain. August 13th for round number 6, the midway point of the season at the Red Bull Ring, and it's going to be in the reverse direction. I'll certainly have to make my way for that one. I'm really loving it. Round 7 in the United Kingdom at Silverstone in the correct direction. We actually had a race at that not too long ago in Midwest F1. It was actually, I'm not going to say it was a disappointment, but it wasn't game-changing like I thought it was going to be. Silverstone Reverse. It definitely provided some good moments, some good overtakes, but you're just never going to improve a track that's already perfect, are you? Baku, Azerbaijan, round number 8. Hungary, the Hungaroring, round 9. That's on September 3rd. September 10th, we head to Zandvoort, and that'll be taken in the reverse direction. Singapore on September the 17th, and Brazil Interlagos on September the 24th. And here we are, the first time lap of the session belongs to Curveball, making his way through these first section of corners. It's a difficult one to go through, really. If y'all remember playing F1 2020 and you remember that Vietnam circuit, this first sector really reminds me of Vietnam. These kind of switch back left, right, and then back again with absolutely no camber to the corners whatsoever, then having to take this very long left-hander of 6, 7, and then into 8, back on the throttle. Careful of that curb back there. That car can get unsettled quite easily. On the throttle, down the back, well, I wouldn't even call this the back straight, really, nor much of a straight at all. Turn 9 and then into turn 10, this is. DRS activated into the horseshoe at turn 11, 12, and 13. Believe it or not, this does find a fair bit of overtaking. Not even so much just that braking zone into 11, but this corner here through 12. And then again, the left-hander at 13, and then the switchback chicane of 14 and 15, the worst chicane in Formula 1, save for the Neuville chicane, and then the one in Hungary are the two that come to my mind immediately. Back on the throttle to go. DRS activated. Now, they've shortened this DRS zone by quite a ways in the recent years. It used to be well far on back that way. It's actually more towards the back end of the circuit now. That's quite a shame, actually, but the DRS trains are definitely reduced on that behalf. 17, now this is an easy corner by look, but you got to beware of the wall and exit. We see a lot of drivers get into that wall trying to take that corner too wide. 18 and 19 to end the lap, a 1:27.679. That's not a bad lap there by Curveball. We'll have to wait and see if anybody can top that. We've got his teammate of Hemphead, which has made one run and then immediately back into the pit lane, so something has not gone correctly with him. We've got Harvey on a lap at the moment. He's making his way out of 17. Through 18 and 19 after that. That Mercedes to the line, and that's going to be the top spot, 1:27.157. So he's got Curveball by half a second there. We got the McLaren coming around the line now. That's Sepulveda. I don't think that was a very good first lap for him, as he's 2.7 off the pace. Let's open his telemetry just to see if potentially he is on an additional flying lap, and no, he isn't. But John the Prince has gone third, about 0.6 of a second behind. Got a slow car going down the back. I believe that's one of the Alpines. Not really sure what's happened there. Bald Guy has invalidated somewhere along the line. He now begins his lap. Although he's only got 38% battery left. I don't suppose he's going to be holding on to this one for very long. Reimer has begun a lap not too long ago. Multiple-time champion here in CCRL, specifically this Wednesday tier. He is definitely one of the greats when it comes to this league and how much he has achieved. 13 minutes to go, making his way now through 4. Oh, that's a big slide. That car just kind of got out of shape very quickly. He has caught on to it. But that one was slightly sketchy. Johnny Damon has gone to the top spot, 1:26.964. That's our first driver within the 1:26 range. Next driver coming around the line, I believe, is the other Mercedes of... It's not Rocket Man. I believe it's Harvey just coming back around the line again. Yes, he is. We got the Sauber. One of them. It's either Fragley or Serzal. Who is that had gone off there? Bald Guy Racing has parked it on the exit of turn number 11. That's a slightly awkward place to have gone off, but I think what he has done there, he's done well to get that car off the racing line and to kind of get himself out of the way. Very nicely done. Fragley to the line now. That'll be P4 for Fragley, 1:27.581. Finds himself 0.6 of a second off the pace of our top spot holder, Johnny Damon, who, as I remember it correctly, last time out in Japan did not have a good result. Very up and down and predominantly down day for him, as it seemed, unfortunately, for Mr. Damon. Hopefully he'll be looking to change that tonight. Mercedes coming around the line now. That, I believe, is Rocket Man. Cam Tizzle's gone to the top spot, 1:26.165. That's actually put 0.8 back to Johnny Damon. We thought Johnny Damon's time there was the collective agreement that it was a good time, at least good starting time. Cam Tizzle has put in essentially the quality of a late quali run in with considerable amounts of time left. I mean, he has flown to the top of the charts, hasn't he? Got another Sauber coming around the line coming up next. I believe that's going to be Sir Zoll. Let's see what his time looks like. Well, not too bad. 126.828. Finds himself 6.5 tenths off of the top spot now, but he has cleared Johnny Damon by nearly 2 tenths of a second. So not too bad for him. Next around the line, I believe that is one of the Williams cars entering the pit lane. Yes, it is. We got a Red Bull of Agnote on a outlap. Got Sepulveda, who is on a flyer, according to my eyes. He'll make his way into 17. Yeah, it's a good exit. Back on the throttle. DRS activated there. Across the line he goes. He will stay 10th. It's a good lap from him. A 129 something or another. He is still P11, but, for what it's worth, that looked at least a much more comfortable lap there from Sepulveda. Unfortunately, though, he's not able to climb the charts any. While we have a minute here, let's take a look at our driver and constructor standings while we have this very moment. Coming into, this is still interim results, as I said. This is following the Japanese Grand Prix. Top of the table remains the Williams of Cam Tissel. He is sitting at 43 points currently. Second place, that belongs to Charlie Golf, also on 43 points according to this table. Johnny Damon in third at 38, Curveball at 30, Sepulveda, Jabor, John the Prince all squared up at 27 points apiece. Fragley and Owa tied for the 8th spot at 22. Reimer, Surzal, and Asian Kid. That's his racing name. Don't cancel me. The Asian Kid. Sorry, that Asian Kid. Wow, okay. On my way to cancellation already. We've not even been on the air for less than 20 minutes. They're all deadlocked currently at 20 points. That will be the top kind of competitive grouping of drivers there. We have a yellow flag somewhere along the line. I believe it is the McLaren. Something's happened with him as we stay along with Cam Tissel. He'll be coming back into the pit lane here shortly. But according to the Constructors' Championship, currently, Constructors' Championship lead belongs to the Haas's at 65 points. Aston Martin at 63, McLaren 54. 3 points separates the Williams, Saubers, and the Ferraris at 43 to 40. 43, 42, 40. Red Bull in 7th at 37. Alpine at 20. The Visa Cash App Racing Bulls F1 team at 18. And then Mercedes brings up the rear at 12. Cam Tissel into the pit lane. His first couple of time laps are done there. He's got this on lock for the time being. Johnny Damon has put in a better lap somewhere along the line. I'm not entirely sure when that was, but he has, I think, gained at least 2 tenths of a second on his previous attempt. Harvey's making his way through Sector 2. He's invalidated. Charlie Golf making his way through the big loop at 6, 7, and 8. This does appear to be a flyer for the Aston Martin. Let's go along with him. And something has not gone right there. He is backed off. I believe was on a flyer. I think maybe did he hit that wall exiting turn number 8. That car got kind of out of shape and then he backed off kind of immediately there. That was slightly a weird one for Charlie Golf, but he is no longer on a flyer here. We've got one of the Red Bulls coming around now. I believe that's going to be Agnote. Yes, it is. This is not going to be the end of a time lap here, more so the beginning of one. As coming around the line now to begin his next timed attempt is Agnote into the first corner. Interesting taking the first corner at 4th gear. Okay. I was thinking more like 3rd or 2nd, but 4th gear corner there for Agnote. And I think what it is that this game really wants to snap the rear end around from you anywhere below 4th gear, realistically. It's such a hard way to stay in control. As Reimer, by the way, we'll have to cut away from Agnote's lap. Reimer has just gone 2nd and 3/4 of a tenth behind Cam Tissel. Wow. So Reimer putting that time by Cam Tissel on notice, and we thought at least the one by Cam Tissel was slightly, even potentially untouchable. Not the case. Anyway, as we were on with Agnote, I believe, as he's making his way to the horseshoe. Now, this game really wants to take the back end of the car away from you. Basically what the meta is that you want to, as I've understood it, is that you want to adjust your throttle differential and set them absolutely maxed out at 100 each, and that kind of does away with the lateral slides that drivers have been getting onto the throttle. Because, I mean, listen, I'm no esports driver by any means, but even this season, even this game, having gone from 24 confidently with no traction control to now actually decently struggling without it. You know, to put it in English terms, I thought the football left me. I really did. As it turns out, that's just how it's been going. Anyote, unfortunately for him, does not appear to have improved any higher than 15th, as we see the majority of drivers making their way into the pit lane now, or just not on flyers. That's the Sauber of Serzal. He might actually be on... Oh, well, he's hit something. Jesus. As soon as we cut away, that car had hit a... Oh, and he's just hit a piece of front wing there. That's a little odd. I think it may have came off of that racing bull ahead of him. I think King Pro Player. Yes, it has. Serzal was on a flyer. Might still be. He's definitely trying to be. Going up through the chicane, past the horseshoe, a bit of front wing missing on the ground, and he actually ran it over. I'm slightly surprised that he's not picked up a puncture, because he's fully on hit it. But he continues with his time lap. Through the final corner and across the line for Serzal. He's gone third, 126.653. Improves by nearly 0.2 of a second. That's a good lap for the Sauber. For what it's worth, we're looking at a pretty competitive grid here. Aside from the top two, I think they might be in a league of their own for the time being. But Serzal, Harvey, Johnny Damon, Curveball, King Pro. And there you go. There's Fragley up in there as well now. I mean, this is going to be a great battle for the third step of the podium is what it looks like. But again, anything can happen. You know, that's what I find really great about these sort of F1 leagues that I have commentated. There's never a guarantee about who's going to win a race. It may seem like there's a guarantee, but there never really is. And that really came into mind last week as well, as I'm going to open up the race results here for the Japanese Grand Prix. It was Charlie Golf who did take that win. Took the top spot. It was a double podium by the Saubers. Fragley in second, Serzal in third. Cam Tizzle took fourth. Cam Tizzle had started fourth. Curveball started on the front row in second, ended up finishing fifth. Johnny Damon started from the pole, finished sixth despite having the fastest lap. It was not a good day for Johnny Damon, and I think he's, once again, definitely looking to rebound here tonight. It'll be interesting to see whether or not he can do that. I'm sure he could. Johnny Damon is one of the more talented drivers I've seen in the recent games. Owa up from 14th to 8th. Jabor stayed net zero at 9th. And then Sepulveda, unfortunately for him, went from 6th to 10th. Merck went from 8th to 11th. Asian Kid finished a lap down in 12th. So did King Pro Player, although King Pro started in 15th and made his way up to 13th. I think for a while there, King Pro was actually starting to really contend, and I think something, as far as I remember, something happened to him, just kind of got in the way of being able to do that. And unfortunately for Osmanian Devil and Hemphead, neither of them finished the session, unfortunately. 19 cars on the grid for this one, as Sammy Cush has joined it. Gee, we've got Hemphead and Sammy Cush in here now. 2 minutes 50 remaining in the session. We're assuming the last round of timed attempts are going to be taking place here rather shortly, there's a whole mess of them exiting the pit lane now, at least 5 or 6 by my count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, well, that was a good guess. I believe that was coming around the line. That was actually the Aston Martin into the pit lane, as now we are actually going to have Cam Tizzle on an outlap as well. We're going to go along with Cam Tizzle, I think, naturally, having been as quick as he has been. He's not waiting around, is he? Immediately overtaking the Haas of Johnny Damon out of the pit lane and trying to make his way up through the grid. Now, this is dangerous here from Cam Tizzle, because obviously you want clear track, but if it comes at the cost of actually using your tires on the outlap, that's a bit of a risky business there, wouldn't you say? Well, we'll have to wait and see. 2 minutes on the dot remaining in this one. Next car around the line is going to be one of the McLarens. I believe it might be John the Prince, and it is. This will be his timed lap coming up now. He will have the most amount of clear track. I would say keep an eye on both Reimer, both of the Mercedes, and potentially Harvey and Johnny Damon as well. I think they might have a chance here. Cam Tizzle, definitely, I think, is going to be the one to watch. 90 seconds remaining in this session, as coming around the line to start his final attempt is that of John the Prince. on the way into the first corner. Let's see where he takes us. He is well. Now, he'll go down to second. Remember, we were watching on with Anyute, and we thought it was kind of weird having stayed up through fourth gear. He's done, as I kind of expect, he's gone down immediately to second, as we have a yellow flag on the backstretch. I think it's kind of a backup there between some of the cars on outlaps. That was not a good take there of 4 through 5. That car looked kind of out of position for John the Prince. I can't imagine he's going to improve throughout this first sector. We'll see. And yeah, he is slower by almost a tenth of a second. What I will say about this, he could back off this lap now, realistically, and he might still be able to make it back round to the line. I think he will have time. If he turns his ERS off and he just stays on the throttle, assuming he's got 2 runs of fuel in there, he might have to do that, because for the time being, even as well, having the clear track ahead, he's not improving. That's unfortunate for him. Up through the chicane. Now, he's taken that pretty well. That was nice and clean, I will say. Oh, and he has backed off, hasn't he? Yep. Yeah, he was not improving throughout that second sector, and John the Prince now has just a little bit to get back around the line, as we do have Reimer now beginning his final time attempt. Cam Tizzle making his way into the horseshoe. Relatively clear track ahead of him. He's got to look out and hope that neither the Ferraris nor the Haas will get in his way. We're assuming potentially a little bit of teamwork here. Oh, I don't think. No, so John the Prince has, I think what he's done is he's waited up and has given Sepulveda the tow, knowing that his time was not going to improve. As John the Prince finishes 9th, Sepulveda, unfortunately for him, actually doesn't improve. So that was, good teamwork there for John the Prince. All for naught, I'm afraid. King Pro player finishes 8th. That's all he can manage. Johnny Damon to the top spot. 125.995. But here is Cam Tizzle. To the line he goes. And to the top. 125.715. That's a fantastic effort from both of those drivers. And Johnny Damon, I kind of thought we were going to be looking at potentially a good attempt from him. And it was. Just not quite enough. Serzol, it does not improve. He's actually 0.2 slower on that previous time. Coming through the lap now is Harvey. Across the line for him, and he'll go 4th. Not bad, but not close enough. And Reimer, I think, is actually slow through that second sector, and he will not improve unless Charlie Gulf has something in the tank, or Anyute, and Anyute's into the pit lane. This is going to be your order. Cam Tizzle, Johnny Dame in the front row, Reimer and Harvey second row. It'll be a 3rd row lockout for the Saubers. 7th for Curveball, 8th for King Pro player, 9th for John the Prince. And I think Charlie Gulf is still on a flyer here. He may actually improve. We'll wait and see what Charlie Gulf has to say. 0.3 a gain will give him 1 spot. And across the line, that's a good looking lap from him. And he does gain that 0.3 of a second, puts him up to 9th. So that'll put him 9th, John the Prince 10th. Rocketman 11th, Jabor 12th, 13th will be Merck, 14th Hemphead, 15th Sepulveda, 16th and 17th the pair of the Red Bulls, 18th for the bald guy racing. And then rounding of the grid in P19 is Sammy Cush, who joined the session late. He will be able to have his... he will actually still be able to join the race, but he will start from the back, having not put together a time. So the grid in a Williams sandwich here is by the looks of it. But Cam Tizzle, what a lap it was from him. And I tell you what, as Johnny Damon's now left the session... He kind of had that feeling that it was going to be Cam Tizzle that really started to make his moves there, and that it was going to be Cam Tizzle taking the top spot again. As I said, you can never really predict anything, and you can never say that something's definite, but I tell you what, that was a fantastic lap there from Cam Tizzle, and actually even more so, I'm surprised he was able to improve off the lap that he already had. He actually put himself in the 125s, which I didn't even think was possible, but he's done so, and Johnny Damon's done so as well, so that's going to be a hell of a run into the first corner. Off of this race start. We are in for a good one here, ladies and gentlemen. I say that more often than not, I really do, but 9 times out of 10 it's true. And that 10th time being Monaco, normally. Speaking of which, interesting with Monaco that I actually found out. You know how in real life we had that instance where Monaco actually makes you do the 2 stops now? For tire strategy. That actually takes place in the game as well. I didn't think they would actually add something like that, but they have. And so what does that mean? Absolutely nothing, but I thought that was interesting, so that's why I said it. Not a bad-looking day here in Miami. Doesn't necessarily ring any bells that we might have rain on the way. You still have to kind of keep that in the back of your head, just on account of it could pretty much always rain whenever it feels like in Florida. That's how it does go. Johnny Damon asking to not ready up at the setup screen. He will start it. Sammy Cush putting it in the Discord here that he is sorry if he screwed anyone. His wheelbase lost force feedback and steering, so that's a great start to a session. And then Merck apparently is not happy with Hemp Head, saying he has screwed up his time lap. I didn't remember seeing anything wrong with that. I'll ask the Discord now if there's any weather on the way here, just to get a little bit of a inkling on if that's possible. Once again, how's everybody doing tonight? Fantastic day for a motor race, at least virtually. Johnny Damon has confirmed for us that there is no weather on the way this evening. It'll be green flag. Well, I say green flag. It'll be at least dry tires throughout. Appreciate the weather report there from Johnny Damon. Might want to make your picks now. Who you think is going to win this one? I tell you what. I think the obvious answers are either Johnny Damon or Cam Tizzle, but I tell you what, again, there's never a guarantee when it comes to this sort of thing. And I tell you what, if for what it's worth, anything can happen, as we saw last week out Serzal for sure. I tell you what, it's definitely possible. Crazier things have happened. I remember seeing this guy. We had an F2 league once. He actually made overtakes 3 wide up through. Oh no, that wasn't F2 league. That was a Division 2 league. This guy went from, I think, 7th on the grid and was overtaking people 3 wide up through Beau Rivage and into Massenet. So that was fantastic. It's a shame that he did what he did to get kicked from the league, but that was fantastic. Hey, listen, again, anything's possible. I think legitimately, for what it's worth, this is going to be a very competitive off to the race here. I think if anybody gets in a good way, it could belong to anyone, this race. I think obvious answers are always there. They always and forever will be. But for every obvious answer that there is, there's a Nico Hulkenberg to find the podium. Merck believing he feels he's going to get destroyed in the straights. It's a difficult track to set up for. It really is, because you got some of these corners, especially that first sector, a lot of downforce necessary. They're high speed flowing left and right-handers. The downforce is definitely helpful through that, but then you get to this long back straight and actually, as well, for what it's worth, the DRS section from 9 to 11. Straight, it's a very difficult track to set up for here. It's not obvious like Monza. First laps on 25, didn't get to practice. Happy to be starting in the back. Well, I tell you what, for what it's worth, sometimes starting in the back is kind of the blessing. So you kind of just get to watch and examine what's happening ahead of you. I often started in the back, except my difference was that I didn't. I actually tried. Going 3 stops, starting on the softs. What do you think? Well, I tell you what, here's my expert opinion on this. From all the races that I've seen, starting on the softs tells me, then maybe wets. That's interesting. I don't actually believe that we're getting weather on the way. The car drives so much, it really does. The car really does try to snap around from the back to you. Again, as I was explaining earlier, having gone from 24 to 25, I was struggling so much on no traction control in 25. When in 24, I had a good handle on it, like I knew what I was doing. I really thought the football left me, to be honest with you, but that's all right. So, let's see what we have here as far as tire strategies are concerned. Everybody, save for 5 of them, on the medium tires. 5 of which actually starting on the hards. Charlie Golf, John the Prince, Rocketman, and Jabor all starting on the hard tires. What that tells me, I think the easy thing to do is to start on the medium tires and hope for the safety car, right? You hope for the safety car, and then eventually you get to go on those hard tires, try to stretch the run as long as you can. Charlie Golf, John the Prince, Rocketman, and Jabor, and as well Sepulveda, are all predicting that won't happen. I kind of expected that last week in Japan, for what it's worth. I expected an early safety car, and it just never happened. And we got a clean race pretty much throughout the entirety of it. So, those of which that started on the medium tires were, I think, definitely worse off. I think we definitely had a close race towards the end, as, you know, the crossover point between the mediums and the hards really got caught up to some of them involved. But for what it's worth, I tell you what, we're definitely on a race today where things could happen. Wow, okay, so the game was saying to do a two-stop, 9-13 for an additional set of mediums. That's a little bold. I don't believe we're on for a 100% distance Grand Prix today, are we? Why would we need to do two stops? I don't know. Life was better when we had that tire rule in qualifying, or whatever you qualified on, you had to start the race on. That was such a better time, really. Cam Tizzle and Johnny Damon will lead the grid off the start. Reimer is in position as well. Reimer, not necessarily a driver to be known for his hot starts, but what I can tell you is this, is that any given opportunity that he has to be able to make overtakes and dice his way through the field, he will be able to do. Harvey, not really sure what he's about, not going to lie. I haven't commentated on many, if at all, races of his. What I can tell you is this, the pair of the Saubers once again look to be lining themselves up for a good result. Third row lockout for them, after having finished second and third last week, respectively. Double podium for the black and greens. Tell you what, look out for these guys. They know how to play the team game, and they know how to race fast. 18-22 is the window from the first set of medium tires to the second set, from the second set of medium tires to the first set of hard tires. Serzal's not found his grid box correctly, unfortunately for him. Cam Tizzle lines up, as I don't think the game is going to give us a good camera angle down the grid here, unfortunately. No, it just really won't. This is terrible. Just waiting for the final cars to line up now. Here we go then. Cam Tizzle on the outside, Johnny Damon on the inside. This is going to be one hell of a way to start. Who's it going to be, the Haas or the Williams? 5 lights. And they are off here in Miami. As they get off the line, Cam Tizzle has gotten away much better as they immediately try to fan out behind them into the corner. Reimer has actually taken that second spot almost immediately. He's gotten up into position. Fragley's up to third. Harvey to fourth. Johnny Damon has fallen. Oh, and there he goes. It's carnage into the wall. In towards turn number 3. Front wings everywhere. Shattered dreams as well as front wings. Oh, that was such an unfortunate way to begin the race. Serzal got tangled up. Johnny Damon, I think, either tried to cut across to the right or just was flat out in the way and cut off the Sauber. I don't really know what happened there. Oh, goodness me. And the bad luck continues for Johnny Damon, and Serzal, I may have accidentally commentary cursed him, saying he was on pace for a good result today. That is very unfortunate for all parties involved, and I'm actually very surprised that that nobody else was actually tangled up in that incident. That was right in the middle of the pack in front of everybody. Thankfully, all 19 cars which have started this Grand Prix remain in it, and this is only just a virtual safety car, as Cam Tizzle has taken the lead. Reimer has taken second. Fragley up to third. Harvey has stayed fourth. Charlie Gulf is +4 up to fifth. Curveball to sixth. Merck is +6 up to the 7th position. King Pro Player 8th, Hemphead +5 up to 9th, and Jabor has gained 2 spots up to 10th. Serzal is down 13, and Johnny Damon is down 9. Those are the biggest movers, unfortunately. In the negative direction, Reimer. It's a drive-through penalty for the Alpine. As he sped onto the virtual safety car, you could see the lockup visibly of when that car tried to beat the Delta, and it hasn't happened. Oh, goodness me, it's all kicking off now. Yellow flag somewhere. We have at least, I think, a Ferrari and a Haas off towards the back, or something has happened there. Bald guy's got a tenner for speeding in the pit lane. We had genuine yellow flags heading into the pit lane there. 5 cars on the way in. Reimer with the drive-through. That promotes Fragley up to the 3rd spot. 6/10 of a second for him as he tries to chase down the Willie of Cam Tizzle. Harvey up to 3rd. Charlie Gulf now up to 4th. That puts Merck and Owa actually +7 each, and Sammy Cush +8 as well. I tell you what, some drivers have been given a total gift here in the recent goings. It is certainly possible. I tell you what, though, with DRS activated, that Sauber's going to give Cam Tizzle a run in towards turn 11 and into the horseshoe. He's not dived for it like I kind of expected him to do so. Not that he's a dangerous driver or anything, but you had that door wide open, and Cam Tizzle eventually politely shut the door. Through the chicane they go. Fragley actually lost about 0.3 of a second that time, but we're going to have a massive spurt of DRS here as we head down the backstretch and in towards turn 17. We'll have to wait and see if potentially Fragley can make this move happen. I tell you what, he's gaining quickly, but I think the straight is going to run out before he's able to break into the corner, and that's exactly what happened. Remember, we were talking about in the build-up that the DRS zone had been shortened on the backstretch here. I tell you what, if it was at its full length like it used to be, there was no doubt in my mind that Fragley was going to have that move made. But he is still within position here, 0.3 of a second, heading back in towards turn number 1. All of which on the medium tires, by the way. This is a full-out race for pace here. Charlie Gulf is actually the best driver so far on the hards, as we've got Rocket Man and John the Prince having a bit of a tussle in towards turn number 1, whereas Rocket Man has well, it's not taken a long time for him. He's actually gotten right up there. Enter the rim shot there. Oh, Sammy Cush has gone round. Yes, he has. The Williams has hit something. That car was up a lot of positions and suddenly has spun. What I will say, it doesn't appear that he's hit anything. He's not got any front wing missing. That's a good sign for him, because that is a very unfortunate go of it for him. Hemphead into the pit lane, apparently replacing a front wing. It'll be 0.6 of a second between Cam Tizzle and Fragley. Harvey behind at about a second. He's trying to kind of peek his way into this battle. It's not quite there for him yet, but we'll have to wait and see. Through the horseshoe they go, into the chicane now. Fragley still behind 0.7 of a second, and this is where Cam Tizzle really made up his ground, was through this slow speed second sector towards the back end of it. Oh, King Pro Player has left the session. I hope I have him friended. I'm not entirely sure that I do. Oh, yes, I do. Okay, very good. We'll send 2 of them there to King Pro Player just to be safe. Hopefully he gets either one of those. Back on the throttle they go. Cam Tizzle has lost time somewhere along the line. He's now actually behind. Oh, and I think I might actually get kicked here. I'm not going to lie. Either Fragley is genuinely losing time here, or my game is failing to connect. I think Fragley actually might be losing a lot of time. He was ahead by about 0.6 of a second, and now Cam Tizzle's ahead by 1.3. So I'm not rightly sure what's happened there. As we got Rocket Man, he's actually gotten around King Pro Player. That car is still ghosted, unfortunately. That's down the pit lane. Never mind. Sammy Cush has retired from this session, unfortunately for him. King Pro Player, I'm going to send one more quick invite just to make sure that he does get it. That'd be a hell of a shame if he wasn't able to rejoin this session. So Sammy Cush is our first victim today, and he's done so on his own. He's not crashed or anything. He's just left, which is unfortunate for him. Has to be said. And Johnny Damon has now left the session as well. This is going so poorly for almost everybody involved. Hopefully some of these guys can actually find a way back in. Tell you what, that's the one thing I have noticed. I've given this game and EA a lot of crap over the years. I'm giving it extra crap now. This game's servers and randomly kicking people at will is just such a detriment to this game. For what actually is what it's worth, has been a very fun F1 game to play. I know we haven't said those words in quite a long time. This has been a fun game. But just the game kicking people from these online lobbies is just such an unfortunate way to be. It really is. As Jabor is actually going to make his way around Owa there for the 9th position. Nicely done. Charlie Golf trying to have a look at Harvey here. Charlie Golf still on the hards. We couldn't expect him to be making... I wouldn't want to say he's not making serious moves, but I wouldn't expect him to be really challenging for this position to the podium, realistically, at least for another maybe 7 laps or so, maybe once those mediums start to wear off more than they already have. Although what I will say, Charlie Golf has got some really good pace for the time being, and he is closing down on that Mercedes. Does that Mercedes have damage? No, it doesn't appear that he does. Although for what it's worth, he is now gaining time up to the Sauber of Fragley. Fragley actually appears to be losing time very quickly to Cam Tizzle. He was close not too long ago, remember? We almost had an overtake there. I think Charlie Golf may have overshot that braking zone just ever so slightly into turn 11 as we go along with him in through the chicane at 14 and 15. Yeah, I think Fragley is struggling somewhere. He was close up to Cam Tizzle. He was within DRS range, and he was challenging for that top spot, and since then he has dropped like a rock. I'm not really sure what the situation has been with that, as we now see the Mercedes of Harvey. Potentially, will he try the inside? Yes, he will. He'll have to be late on the brakes. He'll lock up. Makes sure to not run into the back end of the Sauber. Very thankful that that was the case. Speaking of Sauber, we've got the other one of Sirzoll off at the Horseshoe. That car, that doesn't appear that's hit anything. Just maybe had a slight unfortunate go of it. Sirzoll, actually, for what it's worth, is pit for fresh hard, so maybe he's not got the tires up to temperature quite yet. That does happen. Bald Guy Racing's got a tenner for speeding into the pit lane that he's yet to serve. He'll probably do that on his next stop if he does have one. And still the battle now for the second position, headed by the Sauber of Fragley. Harvey in second. Third of Charlie Golf. All three of which battling for position here as King Pro Player has finally rejoined. Oh, Charlie Golf into the wall. That was a little bold. Trying to cut the circuit as much as he could, and he's actually clobbered the barrier on the outside as Harvey late on the brakes now for the second position. Oh, I'm not entirely sure he's going to be able to stick the nose out ahead, as now they're side by side through the Horseshoe. Charlie Golf follows behind. Maybe some contact there through the chicane now. Oh, and he's going to force him off. Harvey has not allowed Fragley the space. They're still wheel to wheel. Oh, and they're going to hit the wall. Oh, and that's going to collect Charlie Golf as well. They're wrecking like sons of bitches back there, and Curveball is going to take the second spot. Oh, man, well, tell you what, you want to talk about physicality. Harvey and Fragley were wheel to wheel from the Horseshoe through to the chicane. Harvey, I don't believe, gave Fragley enough width to the inside through the chicane, and then coming out of turn 16, Fragley was very interested in taking that spot away from Harvey and forcing him off into the outside, and himself and then as well Charlie Golf all got into it, and it was unfortunate for Charlie Golf as he was following in behind and just so happened to clip the left rear tire of the Mercedes, just kind of getting itself out of the way after having been turned into the wall, of the Sauber. Just a total bystander in that, Charlie Golf was. And now, surely all three of these cars having damage. Charlie Golf has since into the pit lane. Oh, what a terrible incident that was, especially for three cars that were destined to have good races today. Harvey's now nursing the front wing as there's no end plate on the right side. I have yet to get a solid look at Fragley's Sauber here. Oh, he's missing quite a lot on the right side as well. Such an unfortunate way to go about it. You just know. I don't believe anything was intentional there. Harvey definitely could have given Fragley more room to the inside through the chicane, knowing that you're side by side with a car for that long. And I think Fragley could have known that there was obviously the car to his outside exiting 16. That whole thing could have absolutely have been avoided. Instead, that turns into Curveball having the second spot, albeit 7.5 seconds behind Cam Tizzle. But Curveball up to second as we got Reimer and John the Prince having a go now. And as well ahead of him, oh, that's Merc and Rocket Man having a bit of a go. They're going to be stacked up 2 by 2 here. A little bit of a slide for Merc. That car actually got very unsettled coming off of the curb. We're about to have ourselves a 4-car battle for the 5th position headed by Rocket Man, as he's actually had a good race today. Rocket Man has made his way, albeit he's had some help from cars around him, but up from 11th on the grid, up to 5th. He has been, and I tell you what, a lot of these have been genuine overtakes as well. He's done so good. As we have a yellow flag. Oh, that's the Red Bull of Owa. He's gone around and he's missing a lot of the front wing, and that is promptly on the racing line as well. Slightly surprised that's not at least a virtual safety car, I'll be fair with you. Rocket Man still leads this battle, although he's actually put a second 1.2 back to Merc. Reimer is going to have himself a go here. He'll take the outside. John the Prince is going to watch and hope to be able to take the V-carb as well, and he will do just that. John the Prince is actually not really gone for around the outside there. He's quite content with keeping it calm and just maybe trying to conserve a little bit. As I tell you what, for what it's worth, Merc's really struggling now. Visible oversteer for that V-carb. We saw that coming out of turn 18 off the curbing. But that car got unsettled. We saw it there going through the Horseshoe and through the chicane. John the Prince will now take to the outside as we got a good battle here. Harvey has actually retaken Curveball. Something must have happened with Curveball, because that car is, was naturally ahead of the two after that scrap, and, yeah, about another second has been lost. Oh, big slide to the back end from Harvey. Can he catch it? Yes, he can. Fragley into the pit lane. That's why he was dropping so rapidly there. But Harvey, that car nearly went clean around from him. He was able to hold on. So this battle now ends up being for the 4th position as Rocketman leads Reimer by 7/10, who leads John the Prince by 5/10, who leads Merc by 8/10, who leads Jabor also by 8/10. We've got ourselves a 5-car battle for that 4th spot, looking very good. Curveball may actually have a look at Harvey here in the coming laps as 4.5 of a second, and then DRS to be involved as well. DRS activated, looking around the outside. Harvey's going to move to that right. He's actually kind of parked it quite well in the middle. Harvey's going to be slightly later on the brakes, actually. And yeah, good defense there by the Mercedes, as Curveball not able to make a move. Oh, that's way deep into the corner for Rocketman. He's overshot that one by a mile. Reimer's taking him around the outside, now has pressure from the McLaren in behind, heading into the chicane now. Couple of struggling race cars out there, and I will say this, those on the hards look to be doing better, except for that of Rocketman. I tell you what, that car really got out of shape, and once again actually hit the wall coming out of turn 16, as Jabor has overtaken Merc. Let's see if potentially John the Prince can make something happen at Rocketman. He's a little bit far behind. I tell you what, I think we can see some obvious conservation here by John the Prince. He's really not pushing it at all. That car has got a lot of its energy store left, still about 40%, as we are seeing our first round of pit road takers here. I think those in the mediums are actually starting to take it on lap 9 here. I'll tell you what, I didn't give the game any credit, but we might actually be seeing a 2-stopper here. For what it's worth, I mean, I kind of thought the game was silly for suggesting a pit stop at lap 9 on the mediums, but that is looking like a genuine reality. A side-by-side, Harv and Sepulveda, that one got sketchy. As Harvey was exiting the pit lane, Sepulveda was a passerby, and those two were wheel-to-wheel coming out of the corner. Harvey has taken the 7th position. Sepulveda stays in 8th. After that was a wild battle exiting the pit lane. But back to our battle for 3rd. Oh, look at this. That's Jabor. He wanted to split the middle. He's going to try. The Mercedes round the outside. John the Prince is going to go deep into the corner. Jabor's going to have to fight round the outside. He may have better acceleration. The Mercedes is going to get in his way. A bit of contact there just from having been pushed wide. That was not malicious in any way. Through the chicane they go. Oh, that's a big slide there for the Mercedes. And now I don't think going to be able to overtake John the Prince down the backstretch here. Jabor's going to have a lot of DRS and slipstream to play with. 10.5 the gap. Even before they get to DRS, that move is on, and Jabor is going to comfortably take the 4th spot. Nicely done for the Haas to be able to wear down the Mercedes. It's one thing to overtake him on merit. It's another thing to break him down and wear him down and to actually be able to make something happen like that, especially when, you know, it's not an obvious advantage that you have. So nicely done there by Jabor to get up to the 4th spot, as we are once again seeing the round of pit stops beginning to take place. Cam Tizzle leads this one by 11.5 seconds over Curveball, who has John the Prince by 7, as it looks like Jabor is still trying to hunt down the back end of the McLaren, as Rocketman has also put himself in this picture as well for the 3rd position. Rocketman, Jabor, and Prince have all started this race on the hard tires, as well as Sepulveda, I believe, unless were these some of the guys to have pit in the early goings. No, you're all correct. Again, the game I thought was being a bit silly, trying to recommend a 2-stop strategy here in a 50% race. That's certainly what it looks like. It might actually be the move here. Cerzal's got a 10er for speeding in the pit lane. I believe that's going to make it 20 seconds for him. He'll serve 10 of which in the pit lane here after having, I believe, gotten 10 the last time. That's not good for him. Johnny Damon and Sepulveda. McLaren falling back now with DRS for the other two. Reimer, if you missed it, was in 2nd position and actually had to serve a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car coming at the end of the 1st lap. He has since pit for the medium tires and is now back in position to get himself and to climb towards the rest of the top 10. He'll have to hunt down the back end of Johnny Damon first. DRS will be activated for the Alpine here. 2.5 of a second as they get to the DRS line. And there goes Reimer quite easily to the inside. Look at the pace that this Alpine has. And up to the 8th spot for him. Rocket Man into the pit lane, and he has gone too quickly into the pit lane. It's a tenner for him as well. Has somebody hit the pit lane speed limiter sign on the way? I'm thinking that may have actually happened, because that's now like the third or fourth time we've seen. No, it's still there. That's really odd. I've seen a lot of cars pick up tenners. When, quite honestly, usually when something happens like that, you blame somebody taking down the pit lane speed limit sign. Because 9 times out of 10, as a driver, you're going to be looking for that sign more than you are the actual painted white line on the ground. The sign is much more obvious, and it's much more clear and in depth of where you're actually supposed to be slowed down by. As it turns out, when you knock that sort of thing down, a lot of drivers start to pick up 10-second penalties because they're looking for that sign, and it's just never there. Especially when you get to be a driver in these upper divisions of leagues as well, and you start to turn off racing line, you start to turn off assists as well. It becomes one of those things. It's a real hampering on the proceedings when somebody does knock down the pit lane speed limit sign. You could say it's an advantage. That's one of the. That's something that's a bit of a dark art. That one. Let's be real. But as we look at our pit stops here, top 4 still have yet to stop. Cam Tizzle, as we said, has a 12.8 second gap over Curveball. He's got about 6 seconds to John the Prince. John the Prince is going to be taken here, I think, by Jabor, but Jabor has not lunged for that position as I initially thought he was going to. Still 4/10 of a second. And into the pit lane goes John the Prince, so our first of the hard tire runners. Oh, and he's got a tenner as well. When it rains, it pours here in Miami, as it's another car with a 10-second penalty. And he'll have to serve that on either his next stop or at the end of the session. Medium tires for him. This race is all but confirmed to be a 2-stopper, which is not what I expected by any means. We're going to get some close battles here exiting the pit lane. I think that Aston Martin to Charlie Gulf is going to be under some pressure here from Merck as they make their way through the first sector and heading towards DRS when entering Sector 2. We'll have to wait and see. As it appears Bald Guy Racing has stopped at one of these points and has served his tenner. Fragley to the inside of Jabor. He'll take that second spot away. Cam Tizzle's now got a 19.2 second gap to that Sauber in second place of Fragley. Cam Tizzle as well on the medium tires. The question is, does it go medium, medium, potentially even soft? Realistically? Does he go for hards here and see how it goes towards the end of the run? Let's see what he does. He's in the pit lane. Cam Tizzle, your leader, pits, who to this point has had a Grand Slam, realistically, I think, unless he does have the fastest lap as well, but I don't believe he's going to be leading this go-around, and it will be an additional set of medium tires for Cam Tizzle. As coming through the paces of the lap now, I believe that is the Alpine at the back of the grid of Bald Guy Racing. Oh, it's going to be close here. Fragley's going to absolutely be in front of him as they exit the pit lane here. Oh, maybe not. Okay, Cam Tizzle. That was definitely close, but Cam Tizzle has stayed ahead, and he's on the medium tires. Fragley behind, by the way. If you didn't notice, there is missing front wing still on the right side. That's going to hamper his downforce, and unfortunately, I think he's going to start to watch that Willie grow in the distance. Well, that didn't sound quite right, did it? The Mercedes of Harvey, 3.5 tenths of a second by Jabor, and I think he's going to have that one even before they get to DRS. Yes, he will. Jabor, on those 13-lap-old hard tires, there's going to be no match there, unfortunately, for the Mercedes on the fresh hard rubber. Only half a second the gap between Fragley and Cam Tizzle there. He's still, if he could stay within DRS range, he might actually put up a good fight there, at least keep Cam Tizzle on his toes. That's definitely something you want to do. As we do have a yellow flag through the chicane, somebody's gone around, I think. Oh, that's the other Alpine of Bald Guy off in the middle, trying to get out of the way for the leaders. Appreciate him doing that. You know, that's even somewhat of a talent that a lot of drivers have, is not even necessarily having a knack for overtaking, but when you're able to really stay in the rearview mirror of somebody for a long time and, you know, wear them down mentally. Let me tell you something. If I'm driving and I got Reimer behind me, I'm going to be almost looking in that rearview mirror more than I will at the racetrack itself. And that's a bad habit, but everybody does it. Let's be fair. That is, you know, one of the cardinal sins of racing, but everybody commits it, is that when you have a situation like that, where somebody is piling on the pressure from you behind and they're not even really, you know, making a lunge to overtake at you necessarily,
When you get to that point of living in the head rent-free of the car ahead of you, that's when the overtakes are going to be made. It really is. Halfway through this racing session, we've seen a lot happen today already. We've seen leaders crash. We've seen podium contenders crash as well. Here's a look at the gains and loses from the first half. Cam Tizzle started on pole, is still pole. He's led every lap of this Grand Prix and remains in the top spot. This is a two-stop strategy, though, that these drivers are on. Specifically, Cam Tizzle has gone medium. He'll probably either go soft or hard in his final stint. I'm assuming maybe he'll try to hold on and go soft if he has a set available. If not, then he might be at a disadvantage on the hards. We'll have to wait and see. Fragley is +3, and Fragley's actually in a good battle here with Harvey as they exit turn number 16, and Reimer's in this as well. Fragley as well, that Sauber is ailing on the front wing. He's missing the end plate on the right side. That not only will hurt downforce and overall cornering ability, but will hamper braking ability as well. Reimer will take it round the outside, and I tell you what, the door closed faster than an unwelcome Jehovah's Witness right there, as he was really looking for it around the outside, but he just couldn't quite find the room around the Mercedes of Harvey, who really tried to get over to the right side and get the room as Reimer now to the inside of Fragley in towards turn 1. Oh, and I tell you what, I didn't notice this initially. The Mercedes has some wing damage as well. As we have a yellow flag, two cars have tangled towards the back. I think Charlie Golf and Merck, yes they have, and we have a safety car. Two cars have gone around, going through the final stages of the lap there, coming out of 17 and 18. One of them being Charlie Golf, missing a bit of the front wing. I think it was King Pro Player potentially as well. No, it's absolutely Murky. He's missing the entirety of the front wing, and we've got a safety car. Wow. Okay. Talk about a wrench being thrown into the plans of the drivers here. Well, for Cam Tizzle, that essentially buys him a free pit stop to fit those hard tires and see out the end of this Grand Prix. So, for Cam Tizzle, that's a pretty welcome sight. As well, potentially as well for Harvey and Fragley here, as these two fellas might be able to fit a new front wing and not really lose that many positions. That's definitely a big way about it, tell you the truth. I think for them, that'd be quite a welcome sight that the safety car has happened. Look at the penalty tracker. John the Prince and Rocket Man both on tenors for speeding into the pit lane. We'll have a look at the tire strategies at the moment as the pair of the Red Bulls coming in. Owa to fresh hards. Agnote to fresh mediums. I believe the Ferrari of Hemp Head. He's just recently pit for hards. He won't have come in again. King Pro Player fresh mediums. Oh, Sir Zol's got a tenor for a severe collision with Curveball, and he's missing a lot of his front wing now. What's happened there? And now Cam Tizzle's got a tenner for speeding into the pit lane. Oh, it's all kicking off here. Under the safety car, no less, and we talked about Cam Tizzle potentially having a good way to pull away in the end of this Grand Prix. He's got a tenner, and that could spell the end of his dominance here. As Fragley's taken the top spot. Fragley on the 8-lap old hard tires. Cam Tizzle to fresh hards, Harvey to fresh hards, Reimer to fresh hards, Jabor curveball to mediums. And I believe we're seeing a lot of pitting as well. Anyway, Jabor mediums, curveball mediums. We'll have to wait and see what Merck and Rocket Man and John the Prince do. Merck to mediums. John the Prince to mediums. Rocket Man to mediums as well. Sir Zol has actually gone to a set of softs. King Pro Player will be gaining some positions here, as well as Charlie Golf, as well as Johnny Damon. Oh, the horror for Cam Tizzle. We talked about the drivers struggling to get down to pit road speed. It's happened again. What a chaotic Grand Prix this is turning out to be. Action at every corner, it seems. Which, for what it's worth, again, I mean, we talk about this track being kind of a stinker in real life, and again, we've been provided with a fantastic race today, and we're pretty much going to get a 10-lap shootout to the end here. It's going to be a brilliant way for it. Let's take you through the order. Fragley, on the 8-lap old hard tires, has the top spot. Cam Tizzle has stopped under the safety car for fresh hards, has a 10-second penalty for speeding into the pit lane. Harvey to the fresh hards, Reimer to the fresh hards, Jabor curveball, King Pro Player, Charlie Golf, Damon Merck, and Rocketman, and Prince, and Sepulveda, all 2 fresh mediums. Hemphead on 3. Oh, we're seeing another round of stops here. Fragley is into the pit lane. Cam Tizzle into the pit lane. Well, this is interesting here. Does Cam Tizzle have another set of medium tires available? If he does, he's already completed his stop. He started the race on the medium tires. He has gone to the hards. He'll go to the mediums again. He'll wait 10 seconds. But this is a good decision from Cam Tizzle here. It'll set him slightly further back on the grid, but he will be on even Stevens as far as tire strategy is concerned. That is a good decision from Cam Tizzle. And onto 3-lap-old medium tires. It's a scuffed set. That is actually still not a bad idea. I'm wondering how many laps the safety car will last here. That actually might be okay, as he'll exit the pit lane ahead of John the Prince, only just. Assuming the safety car lasts for at least another 2 laps, that car might be okay. He'll have 3 laps of racing degradation on the tires. 2-3 laps of safety car degradation is not nearly the same. Like we're talking fractions, right? So for Cam Tizzle, tell you what, we talked about him potentially being the favorite of this Grand Prix. We talked about Johnny Damon being in that picture as well. As we said, though, anything can happen. There's never a guarantee to anybody winning a Grand Prix. As I said, to every clear and away favorite, there's a Nico Hulkenberg getting on a podium. And I think that may just be what's happening here as well. Because as well, remember, Reimer didn't have a good start to this race. He had that drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car well early on. That's the wrong can. And he's back up into the second spot, and I think clearing away, it's going to be a dogfight between himself and Harvey. What I will say about this is that Mercedes of Harvey does not have the front wing end plate on the right side. As we mentioned before, that hampers cornering ability, overall downforce, as well as braking performance as well. So that car is going to be definitely much more of a handful to drive. Jabor being on the mediums. Now, this is where it gets interesting here, because I think the difference between the mediums and the hard tires were profound enough in the beginning to consider the medium tires the favorites, but that only really lasted for about 5 laps. That's the problem. That kind of situation where the medium tire was the best tire on the track only really lasted for 5 laps. I think you can make the argument it lasted for longer, but clearing away, obviously, only about 5 laps. Anything past that, and the hards got into that window. Again, we only really saw that first stint take about 9 to 10 laps on the medium tire. So, I mean, some of these guys, you're looking at Johnny Damon here, you're looking at Cam Tizzle, and Sepulveda as well. It's going to be rather uncharted territory for sets of medium tires here. This is going to be a really interesting end to this Grand Prix. And at the line this time, we'll have 10 laps to go. Tell you what a conclusion to this Grand Prix we have in store for you. This has been a phenomenal day of motor racing, out and out. And I tell you what, for what it's worth, as Sammy Cush, as I look at the Discord again here, apparently it was technical ailments that prevented him from finishing this race. That is why he retired as early as he did. Just a reminder as well, coming up next week, if thought this race was chaotic, do we have something in store for you? Jeddah Corniche Circuit in Saudi Arabia next time out for round number 4. That is definitely, I think almost every time you visit that circuit in particular, you go into it thinking it could be a race of the season candidate. And I tell you what here, we're going to have 10 laps to go once we get the green flag down the pit straight. And it is that of Harvey going to be leading the way with Reimer in second and Jabor in third. Again, Harvey in that Mercedes has wing damage on the right side as they all weave down the back straight, trying to get that last bit of heat into the tires. What was we had? Something happened there. Yeah, that Sauber of Serzal, either something happened there. I think he almost got into a bit of a mix-up there with another car. I'm not entirely sure, but green flag is in the air. Harvey leads them back around, and he's got 8.5 of a second advantage over Reimer. Jabor on those medium tires could very well have a look Still yellow flag somewhere along the line, not rightly sure where, but that's what the game is telling us. Reimer on those hard tires again. He'll be at the disadvantage for a confident and comfortable 5 laps. Oh, we got a yellow flag though off at the back. That's going to be Bald Guy Racing getting out of the way there. Okay, that was a little scary, especially having gone through that tight section of a circuit. You always have to look and make sure that somebody hasn't clobbered a barrier, and in fact, that's not what happened. So thankfully. Harvey's got to take this lap good here. This is the one lap he's going to have with genuinely no DRS to the car behind. If he puts together a good enough lap, he could get to an advantage that he keeps, especially considering that Jabor's going to want this position around the outside of Reimer into 11. He'll switch back to the inside. Not going to work. In through the horseshoe they go, and they are all going to be going single file through here unless does anyone get the bravery, does anyone get the guts, the testicular fortitude to make something happen through there? Well, we're about to find out in the coming laps, that's for sure. Curveball got a little out of shape coming out of that 8th corner as they make their way down the backstretch now. Reimer is behind by about a second and a half, where that car, I think, is looking better on the straight line. He is using that energy store, but he is, well, gaining significant amounts of time, and I think even that would be the... Oh, goodness me! Charlie Gulf has totally missed a braking point there, and he has totally ass-packed the car ahead of him, and I'm not entirely sure why or what has happened with Charlie Gulf, but that car, it was no opportunity to make that braking zone. Wow. Okay. Fragley, Fragley's being forced off the circuit. Now he's into it with King Pro Player, and I think Johnny Damon as well. All 4 wheels of that Sauber was off the circuit. I think King Pro Player, knowing that, may have given that spot back, as I think King Pro Player... He's not a dirty driver by any means. He does have a bit of morals, and I think maybe has he given that spot back on purpose? It's tough to say, as we only just kind of caught the back end of that incident. But definitely that Sauber was not afforded any room off the track going through. I believe that was turn 4, and he may actually be overtaken now. But Curveball's gotten to the inside of Jabor. Johnny Damon to the inside, or actually around King Pro Player, up to the 6th position now. As this is how it stands, Harvey has a second, 1.2. We have a yellow flag. That's Serzal around at the back. Something has happened with that Sauber, and he doesn't quite look happy there with Bald Guy. Not really sure. We'll have to wait and see. Harvey's got about a second and a half back to Reimer. Reimer's got 2 back to Curveball. Curveball's going to be under a lot of pressure here from Jabor, eventually Fragley, and then eventually as well the other Haas of Johnny Damon. And Johnny Damon, if he can rebound himself to get to a top 5 here, that'd be a damn good day for him. Merck wants the inside of Cam Tizzle's not going to have it, just couldn't get on the throttle quick enough to make it happen. DRS will be activated down the pit straight, although it's not really much of a room to overtake here, and as well that the pit straight is just really not long enough to build up a solid enough run to be able to make that happen. But Reimer still behind, 1.6 the gap. Harvey is putting down a great couple of laps here, and he is on those hard tires as well. That's what we have to keep in mind. The top 2 on the hards, and then Curveball as well is on those mediums, and we kind of had that idea in mind that those medium tires were only going to be good and comfortable for about 5 laps, and well, I think we're pretty much past that now in the case of Curveball, in the case of Jabor, for Johnny Damon, for Fragley, for Cam Tizzle as well. Cam Tizzle, remember, took the safety car, pit for the hards that he was on, then got the 10-second penalty for speeding into the pit lane, put on a set of scuffed mediums to serve the tenor, and is back out on track. Remember, he was far and away the leader of this Grand Prix, and has since actually fallen quite significantly far back. Merck has gotten around Rocket Man through the horseshoe as they make their way now into 16, trying their best to find any sort of room to make any sort of advantage down this back straight now, as it's going to be half a second between John the Prince and Rocket Man as we have a yellow flag again towards the back. Oh, who's that that's gone around? That's Agnote. Doesn't appear that he's hit anything. The track stays green otherwise. Harvey leads the way, and okay, this is interesting now because Harvey's lost about a half a second to the back end of Reimer. Reimer is on his way. He's actually put an additional second back to Curveball. Of course, Curveball's trying to have to defend from Jabor and Fragley. Oh, and look at this, Fragley to the inside of Jabor through turn 1. He's not going to get the acceleration to make it happen. Bit of a tap there. Bit of a tap again. Okay, fellas, calm it down now, as Fragley will now look to the inside, going through 4. Oh, into the inside, and the Sauber goes round and into the barrier, and missing a bit of the front wing as well as Fragley Oh, and I tell you what, if cooler heads would have prevailed, that incident would not have happened. As now to the inside, Merck looks for the Sauber, and the Sauber pulls away, at least for the time being. That one was such a difficult incident to dissect there, because you know Fragley was getting impatient with the Haas, and eventually tried to get greedy, and it just didn't quite work for him, unfortunately, as the Haas duo now battles side by side. And I think, who's on the better tire here? Is it going to be Johnny Damon? Well, not necessarily. Well, that's a bit of an interesting decision. Oh, yeah, that's a really bit of an interesting decision there for Johnny Damon to have actually taken that spot away from Jabeur. Jabeur's on the better tire. Yeah. Slightly odd, but okay. Well, here's the battle for the lead. Reimer to the back end of Harvey. Oh, look at this. Does he go for it? Well, I tell you what, he was setting it up. Still looking forward is Reimer, and again, keep in mind the front wing damage as Jabeur's actually taken that spot back away from Johnny Damon. Be interesting to see if he stays ahead. Maybe is it all just papaya rules between the pair of the Haas cars? It's certainly possible. Harvey now only leads Reimer by half a second. Remember, we were talking about the gap that he did have. Again, he's got the front wing damage that's going to be ailing him. They're both on the hard tires. They are pulling away from the rest of the grid, mind you. His curveball on the mediums. Oh, and as Harvey's got the 3-second penalty for multiple warnings going through the Sector 1 S's. That's so unfortunate for the Mercedes, because at this stage of the game, that pretty much hands it to Reimer. I think he'll be at least able to keep the second position. Oh, but you gotta feel for Harvey. Cam Tizzle will now try to make his way around Johnny Damon and get back into the top 5. He's on the scuffed medium tires. Johnny Damon stays within the slipstream of Jabeur. Cam Tizzle tries the right side. Jabeur blocks his line cleverly, and oh, a little bit of contact there, and the other Haas of Damon to the inside. Lots of contact then with the back end of Jabeur, and still Cam Tizzle not able to make it happen. The Great Wall of Haas is happening here in Miami. Bit of a slide in the back end for Jabeur. Can't really get the grips on the car for the time being, as Reimer's still 3.5 of a second, this time with DRS, and this time we'll have a clear path to the lead, unless does Harvey try to late break him there around the outside through 17, and it's not going to happen. Reimer to the top spot, and what initially looked to be very, very unpredictably good for Reimer, is, again, had that drive-through at the beginning of the race, really initially looked as if his opportunity to win today was going to be done for, especially had this race stayed green. Instead, it's done everything except stay green, and Reimer has found his way to the top spot. You'd have to expect that Cam Tizzle's going to be getting frustrated here with Jabeur having the pair of the Haas cars work so well together in defense. I expect that to happen again here very shortly. We'll have to wait and see as Cam Tizzle tries to keep it in the back end of Jabeur. Mind you, King Pro Player and Fragley still in this as well. I tell you what, for what it's worth, I think that Sauber might have a steward's report coming his way later on. We'll have to wait and see. Cam Tizzle down to the inside of Jabeur. He'll make that happen, but now he's got a 1.5 seconds to get up to Johnny Damon. That was the plan the whole time for the pair of the Haas cars, and that's exactly what happened. And now, well, that's King Pro Player wants the inside of Jabeur. Not going to happen. Fragley now to the back end of King Pro Player. He's bouncing off the walls like pinball as they go up through the chicane. Harvey falling behind Reimer with less than 5 laps to go, especially as well having the 3-second penalty. What I will say for Harvey is that he will be keeping that second position unless Curveball finds an extra gear or something terrible happens to the Mercedes. So as they make their way down into the 17th corner, oh, Fragley laid on the brakes, oh, and he'll collide big time with King Pro Player and head on into the barrier. That car was very late on the brakes and just could not get that car back down in time. You saw the amount of the lockup that he did have. And after a double podium for the Saubers, it certainly appears now it's going to be double last 2 places on the grid, unfortunately. That didn't quite make sense. That's okay, though. Made sense to me. That's all that matters. Jabeur leads King Pro Player here 6.5 of a second as they make their way down from turn 9 over towards turn 11 with DRS. John the Prince a little bit far away for this one. Although, is he saving up much of his energy stored here? No, not really. Only 20%. King Pro player at about 30. 30 as well for Jabor. Another 30 for Cam Tizzle. 21 for Damon. 30 for Curveball. 51 for Harvey. As something has happened there with Reimer. That car got way out of shape exiting turn 16. Did you see that, or was it just me? That Alpine was way down to the inside of the circuit. At the line this time will be 3 laps to go here in Miami in what has been a very entertaining Grand Prix, as I expected it to be. You can never get disappointed with the CCRL grid. You really can't. They have been a fantastic bunch to commentate on over these past couple of seasons, and I'm so thankful I get the opportunity to do it again here. Rocket Man tries to get a... Oh, I tell you what, that car nearly went around there as we were looking back at the Visa Cash App Racing Bull of Merck. Yeah, that Mercedes nearly went clean around as he was able to hold it. This is still the battle for the 9th position. King Pro player, 6/10 of a second back to Jabor, as I think things may have finally calmed down here in Miami. I say calm, we're still going to have some overtaking here, but at least it's not a pinball game or bumper cars or anything. That's certainly a fantastic way to look at it, as King Pro player back on the throttle, 3/10 of a second for him. DRS is going to be activated. He chooses to only use slight bit of his battery there. Will he be able to get up here to Jabor? He'll try the right side. Maybe we'll try the bit of a switchback here. Yes, he will. He'll park it on the left side, going the long way around through the horseshoe. If he can keep on the inside into the chicane, no, he's going to have to back out of it there. Jabor got good acceleration and was just able to keep that spot away from King Pro player, as the Haas of Jabor still earning his money here, that's for sure. As I tell you what, it's a good day for the Haas cars. Jabor +6, of course Johnny Damon down 2. But with the day Johnny Damon has had, he'll be happy to have a top 5 here. Harvey's now unfortunately gotten it outside of a 2.5 seconds back to Reimer. Serzal has gone round, unfortunately, again, exiting turn 8. Merck leads Sepulveda by... Oh, something has happened with Sepulveda. Yes, it has. That car is off to the inside. Sepulveda has gone off here. Oh, he's definitely hit something, that McLaren, because he's missing a hell of a lot of the front wing on the left side. And I'm not really sure what's happened to have that, to cause that, but, yeah, that's really weird. I tell you what, missing a lot of front wing today. I tell you what, that Stewards team might just be a little bit busy come the end of this one. It certainly has that feeling, as Serzal has gone slowly then through the chicane, unfortunately for him. What an unfortunately calamitous day for the Sauber team, which I was really looking forward to seeing contend for a podium. Third row lockout for the both of them. Such a sad way to end it, really. But next week in Jeddah, anything can happen, and they'll be looking forward to that, won't they? John the Prince was actually quite close then to King Pro player. That car does not... I tell you what, that McLaren looks a hell of a handful to keep in control right now. Serzal's got a 10er for speeding, unfortunately, and that'll be the end of the day for him. DRS activated here, going down the back straight for the penultimate time. Jabor leads by about 9/10 of a second over King Pro. King Pro is under a lot of pressure from John the Prince. The McLaren to the inside, and he'll be later on the brakes, and John the Prince will take the 7th position. Final lap of the Grand Prix underway. For the time being, Reimer looks to hold the top spot. Harvey will keep second after his 3-second penalty is applied for multiple warnings. Curveball, what a day he's had, at least, will be in the 3rd position. He's +4. That'll be a damn good result for him. Tell you what, King Pro player struggling over the curb there in through Sector 1. John the Prince, 3/10 of a second back to the Haas of Jabor. And again, for what it's worth, Johnny Damon, a good day for him, especially considering the start to this Grand Prix that he did have. Having started in the 2nd position, to be able to claw back and rebound as well as he had, that's a good day for him. I tell you what, I've said this before about Johnny Damon. He's got some of the worst luck I've ever seen as a racing driver. He really has. Very talented, very unlucky, has to be said. And there's just really not necessarily a way to turn around luck, is there? Sometimes you just get those sections of good luck and you get them of bad luck as well. And Johnny Damon Well, it feels sometimes he's got more bad luck than good luck. But coming out of the final corner, somebody who has had good luck today, it's the Alpine of Reimer. He will take the win here in Miami. Back to the top step of the podium, and Harvey, a good result for him. +2 in the end of it. And Curveball coming out of the final corner. Oh, wait, what's this? Hang on just a minute. That was weird. What the hell? I have no idea why Curveball suddenly... I mean, I know Johnny Damon was right close. I mean, it was within like a second, but that's slightly odd. I don't know what's happened there. Johnny Damon, I guess, takes third. Curveball fourth, Cam Tizzle does get back to fifth after all is said and done. Jabor sixth, Prince seventh, King Pro eighth, Rocket Man ninth, and Merc rounds out the top 10. Reimer takes the win here after a very chaotic day up and down the grid. But for what it's worth, he's done well to keep himself out of trouble, and that's sometimes all you need. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to this one. We will see you next time out when we head to the Jeddah Corniche circuit in Saudi Arabia for another edition of the CCRL Wednesday tier. I'm Hotspot. It's been an absolute pleasure joining you on the call today, and we'll see you next time.